When it hurts, that's where everything begins. Not ends, not pauses, begins. Because pain is not a stop sign, it is a signal. A signal that something inside you is being tested, stretched, pushed beyond what it used to be. But most people misunderstand this moment. They think pain means they are failing. They think struggle means they are not meant for more. So they step back, they slow down, they quit. And without realizing it, they walk away from the exact moment that could have changed their life forever. Listen carefully, because this is the truth most people avoid. Nothing great is built in comfort. Nothing powerful is created when everything feels easy. The life you want, the version of yourself you dream about, the respect, the freedom, the success, all of it sits on the other side of discomfort. And if you keep running from pain, you will keep running from your own potential. You know this feeling already. That heavy weight in your chest when things don't go your way. That frustration when you try again and still fall short. That silent pressure when life keeps demanding more from you while you feel like you have nothing left to give. Waking up tired, going through the day distracted, carrying thoughts that drain your energy before you even begin. And then you start asking yourself questions. Why is this so hard? Why does it feel like I'm stuck? Why do others seem to move forward while I stay in the same place? And slowly, quietly, without even noticing, you begin to doubt yourself. Not loudly, but subtly. You lower your expectations. You stop pushing as hard. You tell yourself maybe this is enough. Maybe this is all I can do. But deep inside, you know that's not true. You know you are capable of more. And that's where the real pain lives. Not in failure, but in knowing you're not reaching your full potential. Because staying the same hurts. It just hurts quietly. It's the kind of pain that doesn't scream. It whispers. It follows you into your thoughts. It sits with you when you're alone. It reminds you of the effort you didn't give, the risks you didn't take, the discipline you didn't build. And over time, that quiet pain becomes heavier than any temporary struggle you were trying to avoid. So understand this clearly. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Every time it hurts, something is being revealed to you. Your habits, your mindset, your limits, your level of discipline. Pain exposes the truth, and most people don't like truth, so they run from it. They distract themselves with comfort. They numb themselves with entertainment. They avoid the very thing that could transform them. But growth does not happen in avoidance. Growth happens in confrontation. Growth happens when you face what is difficult, and you stay there long enough to understand it. Think about it. When your body hurts during training, it is breaking down so it can rebuild stronger. When your mind feels pressure, it is being forced to expand beyond what it used to handle. When your emotions feel heavy, it means something inside you is being challenged to evolve. Pain is not destroying you. It is reshaping you. But only if you allow it. Only if you stay. Because the moment you run, the lesson disappears, the growth stops, and you return to the same cycle again and again. Understand this difference. Successful people do not avoid pain. They use it. They don't complain about discomfort. They build through it. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They act in imperfect conditions. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. And that is the shift you must make. So, what do you do when it hurts? You stay. Not emotionally, not impulsively, but with awareness. You stay and observe what is happening inside you. You stay and control your response. Because the moment you control your response, you take control of your life. When pain hits, your mind will try to escape. It will offer you excuses that sound logical. It will tell you you've done enough. It will remind you of comfort. But that voice is not your truth. It is your weakness trying to survive. You must hear it, but not obey it. Discipline begins the moment you stop negotiating with discomfort. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel motivated. You need to act anyway, even if it's slow, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it feels like nothing is changing. Because consistency in difficult moments is what builds strength, not intensity, not short bursts of effort, but quiet, repeated action under pressure, step by step, day by day. When it hurts, you don't stop, you adjust, you breathe, you continue. Another shift you must make is how you see pain. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? But that question keeps you stuck. The better question is, what is this trying to teach me? Because now pain becomes useful. Now pain becomes information. Now pain becomes part of your progress. And that single shift in perspective can change everything. Because instead of resisting the moment, you start learning from it. Instead of feeling attacked, you feel guided. And now every difficult experience becomes a tool for growth. You must also build emotional control. Because feelings are unstable. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel weak. Some days you will feel focused. Some days you will feel lost. If you rely on how you feel, you will never stay consistent. But if you rely on discipline, you will keep moving no matter what. Discipline does not care how you feel. Discipline follows structure, routine, standards. And that is what creates results. Not emotion, but repetition. And in that repetition, you begin to change. Slowly, quietly, powerfully. And you won't even notice it at first. But one day, you will realize that the things that used to break you no longer affect you the same way. The pressure that once overwhelmed you now feels manageable. The pain that once stopped you now fuels you. And that is growth. Not loud, not obvious, but real. So remember this. You are not breaking. You are being built. Every difficult moment is shaping you into someone stronger, someone more focused, someone more disciplined. But only if you stay in the process. So when it hurts, don't run. Don't escape. Don't distract yourself. Stay there. Breathe. Observe. Adjust. Continue. Because this moment right here, this uncomfortable moment, is where your future is decided. Not when everything feels good. Not when conditions are perfect. But when it hurts. Because that is where most people give up. And if you don't, you separate yourself. You rise. You grow. You become something different. Something stronger. Something rare. And one day, you will look back at this version of yourself. The one who was tired. The one who doubted everything. The one who almost quit. And you will realize that was the turning point. Not because it was easy, but because you stayed. So now the question is simple. Are you going to keep running from pain? Or are you going to use it to build the life you want? What are you avoiding right now because it feels uncomfortable? What would change if you faced it directly? How many opportunities have you already lost because you chose comfort over growth? What if this moment right now is your chance to change everything? Are you willing to stay when it hurts? Are you willing to continue when it's difficult? Are you ready to become the version of yourself that doesn't quit? Because that version already exists. It's just waiting for you to stop running.